Hey guys, I just filmed this, but at 8 minutes it cut out. I probably shouldn't make it more than 8 minutes anyway, so maybe this is for the best. But I'm here for some podcast recommendations for you. Figured I would switch it up because I've been talking a lot about the books that I own. So I just have a few new podcasts, and then I'm going to talk about some old podcasts that I really enjoy. The first one that I want to talk about is The Conversation with Conda and Jason. These are two coworkers of mine at Powell's, and their podcast is so good. It's just the two of them having a conversation, and it's it's super real and very honest and very open, and just it's just so honest. It's really refreshing to hear people talk about just life in such an open way. It's really beautiful. And their voices are like butter. They've got wonderful, wonderful voices. The next one is The Black Tapes, which is like a mockumentary type. It's a woman who has discovered this man named Richard Strand, who's basically goes around and like debunks different paranormal activities and occurrences, and she goes to do an interview on him, and then she finds these black tapes, like VHS covers that are black, and she asks about them, and these are ones that he says have not yet been debunked. He is confident that they will be debunked, but they haven't yet, and so each episode is her diving into a different black tape. It is extremely creepy. It's perfect. I feel like it's really good for this time of year. But I was listening to it by myself in my house, and I was terrified. It was very, very scary. Um, Also, Everything is Stories. That one is extremely good. This one is a real podcast, and I think I forget if it's like one or if it's two stories that they do per episode, but they are so good, and it's I just it I love hearing about other people's life experiences and what they go through. I think it's really nice. Um, it helps you understand others, and I love it. I can't get enough of it. Podcasts for the win. So those are like newer podcasts that I've recently started listening to. I did want to re-mention a couple of podcasts that I've talked about in the past. The first one is Democracy Now!, which is my news. I listen to this every day. I love it very, very much. It's an hour every day. I listen to it at 1.5 times speed, though, because I don't have all the time in the world. um, but Amy Goodman is the host of this show, and it's I think it's hosted by Pacifica Radio. Can't really remember now, but it is the best. She really goes out of her way to talk about things that aren't discussed on mainstream media. She's been talking a lot lately about the Dakota Access Pipeline, and she's had like Jill Stein on for every presidential debate, and like had Jill Stein answer the questions. She invited the Libertarian candidate to, I think, Gary Johnson or Gary Johnston. I forget what his name is. He did not go, but she tries really hard to give like a well-rounded view of everything. She had once it was obvious that like once Hillary was the candidate for the Democratic Party, she had on people that were like Bernie supporters, uh, two different ones debating each other, one that is now going to vote for Hillary and one that is now going to vote for Jill Stein, and having them debate like the merits of voting for each. And during the Republican debate too, she had on two Republicans debating, one that was not going to vote for Trump and one that was going to vote for Trump. It's like a pro-Trump and an anti-Trump Republican that were debating each other, and so she tries to get everything. It is probably a little bit slanted towards the more liberal viewpoint, but she tries to be very inclusive. Also, Answer Me This is really, really good. This one is absolutely hilarious. It is two British people who just answer people's questions, and people send them in questions, and it's fantastic, and I absolutely adore them. The Mortified podcast is really good too. This one I feel like you probably have heard of because there was a documentary of it, but people I think they do tours like all over now. I think they're also in Europe too, and people just read their high school journals out loud on stage to a room full of people, and it's awesome. Let's see. Sawbones is really good too. That one is part of the McElroy family of podcasts, which are hosted by Max Fun, but this one is Sydney and, oh my gosh, Sydney and Justin. McElroy, and she's a doctor and he's not, and they just like discuss medicine and how we've gotten it wrong throughout the ages, it's really, really funny. And then the last one that I want to talk about is Baby Geniuses, which is it's done by Lisa Hanawalt, who's an artist. She actually, now that I'm thinking about it, she came out with two books. One was Hot Dog Taste Test, and the other one was, oh gosh, I can't remember. A Hot Dog Taste Test is her newest book that came out. And she's the artistic creator, like she's the one who created BoJack Horseman, like the not the show, but the art. She's the one who designed like the characters and stuff for BoJack Horseman, and Emily Heller is the other lady who hosts that one, and she's a comedian, and they kill me. I love it. That one comes out every other week, and every time it comes out, I'm really pumped on life. Also, My Dad Wrote a Porno is extremely funny. That one is a gentleman whose father wrote a pornography book called Belinda Blinked. They're coming out with a book all together that has like their notes and Rocky Flintstone's notes, which is his dad's pen name. And it's just so bad. It is so bad and like anatomically not correct because he talks a lot about grabbing of cervixes or penetrating of cervix. Why does it sound weird? Cervix. Cervix sounds strange to me. I don't know why. But anyways, and that is like not a thing that happens when people have sex. So it's really, really, really funny and just so cringeworthy. It's so good. Anyways, I think that is all of the podcasts that I'm going to mention now. Hopefully I've given you something new to listen to. Hope everyone is listening or reading something fantastic. Oh, and everyone have fun with Deweys. I'm so jealous I can't participate like I thought I would be able to, but life, man, life.